Let's look at some of the enhancements that have been made within Sage 300 ERP 2012. In any Sage 300 ERP window, the details are shown in alternating gray and white lines. This will greatly enhance the usability of the software. Note that this alternate line shading will appear in any Sage 300 window regardless of whether the Portal desktop or the Classic desktop is being used. Let's look at some of the enhancements that have been made within General Ledger. In General Ledger, it is now possible for you to simultaneously reverse all of the entries that exist in an entire batch. In previous versions, you could only reverse a single entry at a time. In General Ledger, when you print the chart of accounts report, it is now possible for you to exclude the inactive accounts. An enhancement has been made in accounts receivable as well. When using the AR customer inquiry, it is now possible for you to print OE invoices from the Documents tab. There is no need for you to have to go to Order Entry to actually print the invoice. To enhance usability, we made significant changes to this window. In the Order screen, you'll notice that the Entered By field is now visible. The Ship Via Code, Ship Via Code description, and tracking number are also visible on the Orders window. The On Hold description is now available. A new field, Deliver By, has been added. This can be very useful for clients that need to be able to enter the Deliver By date when entering a sales order. Let's have a look at some of the other enhancements that have been made within Order Entry. In Sage 300 ERP Order Entry version 2012, it is now possible for you to copy a sales order without having to leave the sales order screen. It is also possible for you to create purchase orders from the PO module, again without having to leave the Order Entry window. In Sage 300 ERP 2012, in Inventory Control, it is now possible for you to print both the Inventory Control Reconciliation Worksheet as well as the Inventory Worksheet report, and when you print those reports, you now have the ability to exclude inactive items. Let's have a live look at some of the enhancements that have been made within Sage 300 ERP 2012. Let's start with the General Ledger. Let's have a look at reversing entries in an entire batch. I'm going to call up the General Ledger batch list. Let's have a look at batch number 164. We can see that there are 26 entries that exist within this batch. To reverse all of those entries simultaneously, I'm going to open up the batch. I'm then going to click on the Reverse button. It does not matter which entry is currently active. I can be in any entry. But to reverse any entry, click on Reverse. And as before, I can reverse a single entry. If I wanted to reverse all of the entries that exist within this batch, I would, in this example, select batch number 164. I can use the Finder, and I can determine which batch the entry should be placed in, or I can create a brand new batch by clicking on New. I'm going to create a brand new batch, and in this case, batch number 181 has been created. The default description is Reverse Batch. I can change this if I so desire. I have to decide what should happen with the values in the Entry Descriptions fields. By default, the original radio button is selected. If the original value should be prefaced with a prefix, I would specify the appropriate prefix here. If a new value should go in the entry description, I would click on New and then enter the appropriate description. In this example, I'm just going to stick with original. To create the reversing batch, click Process. A confirmation message will be displayed. Click Yes to acknowledge the message. And in this case, the reversing entries are placed in batch number 181. Let's have a look at printing order entry invoices from within the AR customer inquiry function. I'm going to go into Accounts Receivable. I'm then going to select Customer Inquiry. Let's have a look at the documents for customer number 1200. To be able to print order entry invoices, I'm going to click on the Documents tab. Let's assume that we wish to print invoice number 13. I'm going to double click on invoice number 13. And you'll notice that there is a button here called Print OE Invoice. So if I print the order entry invoice, I can actually choose the appropriate order entry invoice spec that I wish to print as I normally would from within order entry. It's nice to be able to print the document from AR without actually having to go to the order entry form to do that within OE. So again, the order entry invoice has now been printed. Let's have a look at some of the enhancements that have been made to order entry in Sage 300 ERP version 2012. I'm going to open up the Sales Order Entry window. Note that I am currently logged in as the admin user, and I'm going to create a brand new sales order for Ronald Black. The entered by, which is a new field, currently has a blank value. This doesn't get updated until I actually post the order. When I mark an order as on hold, it is now possible for me to put in a reason as to why this order is on hold. There's a new field here called Deliver By. The default value is the Sage 300 ERP session date. Some clients require the Deliver By date as demanded by their customer. So in Sage 300 ERP version 2012, it is now possible for you to specify the Deliver By date. You will notice that the ship via description, as well as the tracking number, can now all be listed on the sales order screen. I'm going to put in an order here for a fluorescent desk lamp. When the order is posted, you will notice that the entered by is updated with the appropriate user. Again, I am logged in as the admin user. So as we can see when we post the order, the entered by now has a value of admin. Let's have a look at some of the other new features that are present in Order Entry version 2012. In this version of Order Entry, it is now possible for you to copy purchase orders from Order Entry without actually having to leave the Order Entry screen. On this window, you'll notice that there is a button here called Create PO. If I was to click on this button, Create Purchase Orders, you will notice that the Purchase Orders Create POs from OE window appears. So again, I can copy POs from Order Entry without having to leave the Order Entry screen. In addition to being able to copy or create POs from Order Entry, it is also possible for you to actually copy the sales order itself, again without having to leave this window. To copy this particular sales order, I simply click on File, and then select Copy Current Order. And the OE Copy Orders function is going to appear. And again, this should greatly improve productivity. There's no need for me to close down multiple windows and open up brand new ones to get to those same functions. These are the new functions that have been added to Order Entry in Sage 300 ERP version 2012.